The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Who is actually controlling Benin Republic? Because things are still tense in Benin Republic. We are made to believe that the coup is over. But according to this military man that spoke, the coup is not over, because they are bent on supporting the people who did the coup in order to make sure that they set Benin free. According to the military man, that we saw that this man who is called Patrice Talon came into office promising the Benin people that he was going to give them everything. And they saw this man to be an angel who has come to save them from whatever that is happening in Benin. But this man is a corrupt leader, like a lot of things that this man talked about. And for that matter, they will do everything to make sure that he is gone. And currently, whatever that is happening, Patrice Talon is nowhere to be found. That they are still in control over the affairs of Benin Republic. And this is interesting because this news is circulating everywhere concerning who is actually holding on to power.
Dears today, December right, 2025. 20:00. A Beninese man on heavy heart, but the lucid mind. I speak up to denounce firmly the drifts of a regime that, under the footprints of a wolf spread in Nayo in 2016, our dear Benin, in a night of regression, intimidation, and complicity with the enemy. The governance of Patrice Talon that many had wanted to bring hope. You revealed yourself to be a mechanic, implacable enslavement of injustice and violence. Tonight, we say no. We refuse to remain passive spectators. In front of such a spectacle of desolation, the machine of fear and repression from his rise to power, Patrice Talon has implemented a regime of intimidation, generalized by a systematic witch hunt. He reduced his opponents to silence, some in prison, others forced in exile. How in a country of great democratic transition, as the Benin could have come to this? The T and PP of dance from his rise to power, Patrice Talon was quick to reveal his secret formula, a governance theorem, where LA mediocrity, skillfully orchestrated, becomes a tool of domination. You know its chorus. In small countries like ours, EC, which allows a head of state to be re-elected, insurance, which ensures the re-election of a president. This is not his mandate. This is not This is not his result. It's the way he holds everyone. This is the way that no one is able to stand up to be a competitor ahead of him when you have no competitor. You have to be bad. You will be gathered by your talents. It is Beau who should have breastfed, have become the compass of ESA governance, institutions and tests of law. He orchestrated the exclusion of all true electoral competition. The once democratic elections have become bloody battles, marked by the death of hundreds of innocent Beninese since he came to power at the time. May have paid attention to these similar words, to a premonitory confession, but today the observation is clear. This theorem has come true before our eyes step by step. With almost surgical precision, he relied on the right size to measure, on improbable non-juridical political tips. He subtly remodeled the political landscape, eliminating one by one its potential challengers, including his close friends, until he finds himself alone on the chessboard. This theorem is not just a cynical exercise. It is an attack on the democratic spirit, even by locking down institutions, by neutralizing the competition, and enslaving the counterpowers. He transformed the republic in a theater where the fate of citizens. Today, the creator code in condition, instead of being a code for the people, is a heel code made to its own measure. It is a discriminatory code, which restricts the freedom and definitively excludes the competition. The evidence is there from May 2009 to January 2021. Under a monochrome National Assembly, the code required 16 sponsorships so that God can present himself to the crown. This provision allowed Patrice Talon to be re-elected. In 2021, 56-2023, as soon as the Democrats entered the Assembly, this same code was completely modified once, still adapted to the new. Of the power, the number of sponsorships was increased from 16 to 28, is exactly equivalent to the number of deputies. A coincidence too perfect not to die. Malicious intent. It was just necessary to organize itself to make it, and now it's done. Patrice. Heel has orchestrated everything I publish, living evidence. Same scenario was repeated at the time of filing, in municipal and municipal elections, just before the TV by the elevator. For the compliment, applicants whose applications were have been deceived, sequestered there and turned off phones. Until the expiration of the deadline, trap set for Democrats. You know, the sweet Asian Democrats. Those responsible who dared to make the request for the duplicate tax discharges and criminal records and went looking for them behind. Let's keep secret. Are currently suspended for 100 years. Me next. He says a new amendment to the Constitution, where he definitively buries democracy and installs a Senate of unelected persons, and who have more power than all elected persons, including the head of state himself, institution, who intends to lead once he leaves the palace. Under heel, there are 5 assaults on our Constitution. In 10 years, each initiative that has undertaken has always reflected his personal ambitions of the moment. Scroll through the different texts, and you will see with this last, he relentlessly power, and this until his death. 2009-2021, and now 2025. The people of Benin are still confronted with the ruse, to the perfidy of one and the same person. Economically, state-owned enterprises, fruits of decades of work by our fathers, have been sold off. To its benefit, transform the national economy into a vast Patrice Talon hoarding site. It's a hoarding for his personal account. Of all the riches of the country, who can compete today with Patrice Talon in the business field, who can claim to be a successful businessman? Who do you officially know today in Benin that you can point the finger at and claim that he is a millionaire businessman? And I'm not talking about a billionaire. They were all stripped to silence and fucked by dubious means. The reality is clear. It is a large public or private company, formerly flourishing, Sonafra Ona's Ivory Coast. Sobama have been placed in liquidation or dissolved between 2016 and 2005. Other order Kajav, Socotra, Gulf Gazelle, to name only those, have suffered seizures and suspensions, their family employees thrown away. All on the street. Their families sacrificed during this time. The people sink into poverty, Patrice Talon asks us clearly and to tighten the belt. It's time to face the truth, to free us from the yoke of economic and social oppression and to firmly claim the dignity that belongs to us. The benign, our dear country land of hope and bravery is now taken hostage by a system that stifles its citizens. The question is not just who is governing, but especially how we broke up. Allow me to illustrate this truth by indisputable facts. The pharmaceutical industry, cotton agricultural inputs, cashew, soy, our beacon, to name but a few sectors of our economy, vital for our national sovereignty, have been sold off for electrical interests and purely personal. Cotton and agricultural inputs. Is it necessary to recall how much this sector is controlled by bloodthirsty capitalism? On the first day of his term of office in 2016, one of SES' first Maganti decisions was the deduction of 12 billion of our francs, CFA dispersed in the state vault, for his pocket, followed immediately by the EOWIAO, 100% of LA cotton for the benefit of SA Company.
The one holding office, why are they bent on bombing other people in Benin? So what is happening in Benin is higher than what we are seeing. It's like they said, we should not believe the Western media. You know how they always try to spread their propaganda, so we forget they are doing their things in the closed door to make sure that they succeed. But the military are saying that everything is under their control. And for that matter, they will make sure that this puppet leader will leave Benin Republic. Because the man, instead of helping Benin, has turned against Benin. And the people in Benin are suffering. And this is the time for them to fight. Because looking at what is happening in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, they are equally military men who need to also do something to set their people free. Because where the country has reached, it is only the military that can come in to set them free. So a lot is happening in Benin Republic that the Western media is silent because they always control what they put outside. So the narrative will always favor them. So this is actually what is happening per what the military man said. And these people are saying that they will continue to fight until they have total freedom and enough of oppression. They will never allow France to continue to manipulate them and to use Benin Republic to its advantage, because they need to have their freedom, they need to have their sovereignty. Benin belongs to them, and they will do everything possible to make sure that they save Benin from Patrice Talon and Emmanuel Macron and France in general, because they are sick and tired of what they are experiencing in their country. And this is what we all are experiencing in Africa. But whenever we see that anything is happening to the oppressors' rule, we see the standby forces of all the African organizations active. This is amazing. The time has come that everybody is tired of the system called democracy, because we know that this system hasn't done anything good to us, but rather making sure that we suffer. And we have to continue to fight and leave this oppressor's rule. A lot of us don't understand that democracy is the system that is keeping you and I poor in Africa. People just love this system because of the way they package it and taught it to us in school, and today they are still teaching it on televisions. And we have these people, politicians, who are serving foreign interests, coming to sit on television to preach to themselves and lie to us. So as Africans, if we don't get to know what is causing us not to progress, we can never find solution to it. And that is what the people in Benin, the military, are saying, that they have realized that democracy is the reason to which Benin Republic is where it is. And for that matter, they will fight against that system that the oppressor is using to make sure that the country never moves forward. So it is you and I that need to understand that the reason to which you are where you are is as a result of that thing that they presented to you that you love so much. It's like when they told us that we will inherit the skies while they are busy inheriting our land. But no matter how much we try to educate the black person, we find it so difficult to understand, because Dr. Rikana said they have packaged lies and brainwash us into believing lies, to the point that now when the truth is even before us, we don't even understand. So our brothers and sisters in Benin, you should understand that what you are seeing in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, and you are excited, is the same thing that is happening in your country. So it's left unto you to fight for either being free or to continue to love oppression, which is patrice Talon and democracy and France. Because when you see a white person, it's like you have seen everything. You need to start loving yourself and your country and to rise up and defend your country against any oppression. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Benin.